The magical child. I am a howl. I am that I am. Inexhaustible supply of love, sourcing infinitely in all worlds. The seed of solar mastery, containing the stellar hologram of your return. I am the sun's love made visible as you. In ecstatic ascent, I spread solar wings, awakening in you the immensity of a love that joins all things in the joyful dance of light. O Lux Corona, luminous Trinity made visible. Simply identify with my light, my power, my wisdom, my love, and so accept yourself as I am, unconditionally. I'm reading the wrong one. Perfect start. Took us a while to figure out how to even get onto this in the first place. And so there's been loads come up that aren't live. But they said they were live, but they just gave a thumbnail picture thingy and then they went on. Oh, we love this game of life and awareness and self-discovery. It's the first one, of course, isn't it? No, it's the second one. Imix was the first. So we'll start that again. When we did this reading the other day, we realised that we read the long version and we never knew that, we just thought there was 3 chapters in the book. We didn't realise that the first chapter was the star glyphs and the third chapter was the star glyphs in depth. And so we were disappointed that we didn't get the poem. But there is a poem in this one, so we're going to read the poem. But we read the wrong one because we were just reading that one a minute ago. So, Ik, I-K, but pronounced Eek, the magical child. Let's try that again, shall we? I am Eek, spirit's fire, breath of life, Apollo's lyre. Spark ablaze in cherished flight, all I touch I do ignite. I am knowing, spirit flowing, for fire filling form with light. I am the brilliant crystalline core, as cosmic breath I dance and soar, life's essence infusing time and space, arousing creation with tender grace. Revelation of the beloved's face, mystic reunion divine. As I billow into divine mother's silken sails, we feel the spiral dance with forms unveiled, that awaken the dazzling light upon the face of creation. All do I arouse upon the shimmering crest of my graceful descent. Breathe deeply of the pervasive presence, feel its exhilaration. I ignite the circuitry of your potential. I mirror the potency of your presence, the completion of your polarity. I am the frequency of unseen forces through which in this moment reality courses. Hear my laughing as wind through the trees. See me moving mighty ocean waves in rapturous vortices. All I touch, I stir into celebration in honor of spiritus, divine elevation. As galactic solar wind, I am knowing, danced as the one. Power purifying, I arise. I am inspiration as it flies. Let me lift you, free you, fill you. I carry the very breath of heaven upon my windy wings, enfolding you with the sweetest song simplicity can sing. Eek, pronunciation E-E-K, eek, spout I-K. Common Mayan usage, air, wind. Qualities, spirit, breath, wind, inspiration, presence, truth, co-creator of reality, simplicity, unseen forces, integration of polarities, focused intent. We've got ball therapy going on our arm. Yoga mudra integration, one arm on top of the other. There is a correct way of doing this apparently, but we don't do correct ways. Whichever way comes to you first, and then just change the patterning. and then link your arms like this. And this is good and works well, but for a clapped chest, it's not so good. So we've embraced it and changed it to suit our needs. And we can do this behind our back as well. It gives us an arm rest. And then we make sure to like close our arms a bit. And then you can also change it and do it behind your back. So that's a yoga mudra for integration. Symbol, spiral whirlwind, hawk. Ark, ark. Number 2, polarity. Colour, translucent white light. Herbs, eucalyptus, self-heal. Flowers, white spider chrysanthemum. Baby's breath, lily. Flower essence, red ginger, which is the male-female union. Scents, copal, sweetgrass. Stones, Herkimer diamond, quartz, clear topaz, Quetzalcoatl cross. Element, air. Direction, north. Shadow wisdom, I feel like that boat, when you go sailing, you listen to the whatever wind forecast thingy. Shadow wisdom, choosing to see oneself as a victim rather than taking responsibility for creating one's reality. Doubting your connection to divinity. Issues of separation. Thinking you are separate from spirit. Shadow transformation. Learn to sense and experience your connection with the divine by acting on inspiration as it comes to you. Harmonic wisdom. Interval. We have the perfect 5th interval here, a C and a G, root chakra and throat. I do it away from the microphone. I invite you to close your eyes, place your hands on your body, your belly, your heart, anywhere, or not, whatever's comfortable for you. But if you do, it connects you into your inner world, more into your feelings, into your rainbow electromagnetic field, able to then embrace and connect easier to the collective conscious electromagnetic fields, Earth's electromagnetic field, to feel these frequencies travel down the virtual web through quantum string entanglement, and have the free will choice to download the frequencies to your most amazing bioorganic computer of a body, if you so choose, to upgrade your levels of consciousness from all your senses and all your generational ages of consciousness in your blueprint of your genetic makeup, ancestral, child, adult, parent, unity. Never really know what's going to quite happen. Mudra, hands open beneath the mouth, blowing the breath of the spirit wind. And then moving hands up and out and around, ending with hands together as in prayer. Meditation. I am the fertilizing and loamy force of the cosmic wind. I am the fertilizing and loaming force of the cosmic wind. We are the fertilizing and loamy force of the cosmic wind. We are the fertilizing and loaming force of the cosmic wind. Affirmation. I am the unified presence of spirit. I am the unified presence of spirit. We are the unified presence of spirit. We are the unified presence of spirit. The discoverer. The unbridled bird knows freedom by soaring on the updraft. John Livingston Seagull. Open to the breath of spirit so that you can be guided and inspired. Awaken to the unseen that already infuses your experience. Amidst the seeming complexity, simply stop and breathe. Simplify, slow down. Grasping and holding on will only slow your growth process. Move in honesty and truth. Consider whether your choices derive from the movement of spirit or from the constriction of unconscious beliefs and limiting definitions. Be as guileless and spontaneous as the wind. Move with the currents of change that are being offered. Embrace the unseen forces that move to guide, inspire, and assist you. You are being quickened. Remember that you and spirit are co-creating your reality. Be inspired. Know that your heart's dreams are animated by the presence of the divine breath. Stop for a moment and feel this presence. Presence is the potent indwelling of spirit within you. Be open, aware, and present. By simply being, your true identity and presence emanate naturally. In your present situation, allow yourself to be seen as you truly are. You are being asked to be aware of the polarities within you, to create a unified field of your full presence. There is tremendous power in the recognition of your wholeness. Open in this moment to the vitalizing currents of spiritus that flow through it. Shadow wisdom. Do you doubt your direct connection to divinity? In the shadow of Ik, you may feel that God, Goddess, is outside you, or whatever you call it, energy, light, Allah, spirit, source, heart, love. So you may not respond as fully in co-creating your own reality. When actually we live in an electric universe, and the energy isn't in us as such, but it is constantly flowing through us. And we have free will of choice to what frequencies we resonate from the frequencies that are patterned in our body. The frequencies that are initially patterned in our body are the ones that we are programmed into us as a child. And we then have free will of choice when we become aware, awakened, and adult to choose to keep those vibrations going or not. And believe me, if it's deeply imprinted in your connective tissue, your fascia, it isn't easy to change. But it is doable because we are doing it. And you can watch our healing process as we still are healing. But we want to share that it is possible to take responsibility and accountability no matter what is going on for the individual. And yes, it will be hard and challenging, but eventually we free ourselves of pain. And that's our aim. Kind of rhymes. You like our poetry. In each shadow, you may not expect the divine to handle everything, forgetting that you also are spirit. Ignite the circuitry of your potential. no matter how small or seemingly insignificant it may feel at first. Act on the inspiration and movement of spirit. The breath of spirit can be very subtle. Allow yourself to receive the inspiration of spirit as simply as the gentle caress of the breeze. You have direct connection to divine guidance. As you are inspired like a laser beam, focus your intent. In creative manifesting, results have to do with the clarity and coherence of your focused intent. That's why I love the fact that the next one came out of this. When you hold a coherent intent, the focus of your awareness puts you in natural alignment with the source of that awareness. Do you feel constrained by forms such as the idioms of organized groups or religions? Do you react subconsciously, harboring feelings of resentment or judgments towards such forms? Remember, there is a spark of truth in all forms. Be willing to heal any judgments you may have adopted that inhibit your spiritual evolution. Experience the expansiveness of the galactic wind, breathing free of judgment. Do you sometimes feel that you have been locked into a prison of density and forgetfulness? Have you felt betrayed, abandoned, or separated without knowing why? I'm just laughing there a bit because it's just so relative to us and our things. Things. These feelings may be part of the apparent separation that occurred during your original transition into matter that are now being reconciled and healed. Feel your intrinsic connection with the universal pattern. Heal your issues of separation. For in this, you fulfill your role as an emissary of the great shift and miracle on earth. Look at your issues of separation and feel the sweet promise of reunion. We've been doing this for years, 22, since we were 18. That's when we attempted suicide. But it wasn't until we had the seizures, 2 4 to 5 hour seizures at the end of October, on the Scorpio new moon, end of 2016. And we've been doing it ever since and are getting more and more isolated, unable to interact and connect with other humans. And if we are managing it, you can too. You really can. Dissociative identity disorder is the new terminology for multiple personality disorder. An early childhood coping mechanism, a genius coping mechanism of early childhood trauma. And it's actually where the body and the fascia separates itself. So it's not just the mind that's dissociated itself into separate personalities, but it separates itself in the network of the fascia, the connective tissue of the body. And Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which we have, is a connective tissue disorder, malfunction of the protein collagen. So all our labels, disorders, are gifts, are fruits, and have shown us the way to lots of breaking, lots of pain, but it's the physical pain that speaks to us because we've got an internal model that's deaf, blind, and dumb. And language, words, our processing language disorder limits us there. Emotions, feelings. Well, you can see what that does to us with the reaction. And there's a lot of people out there that don't like talking about their feelings. But we can talk about the feelings on physical sensations down to an atomic level and a subatomic level. Atomic level being the physical form, matter, subatomic being the energy that flows through, non-matter. It's very fascinating because we've been doing this 24/7 meditating since the 11th of November 2019. Opening up the portals and doing whatever because we've been desperate. It's amazing what being desperate leads you to do. We are very much science and maths and see it to believe it. Yes, we'll stop talking now because we're just talking because that's what we do to manage the anxiety. And hence we talk too much and it goes from altar to altar and it can get a bit chaotic. So we're learning to share our messages through what gives us the confirmation and guidance of what we're already on about, but don't necessarily have the language
Saturn time
to embrace it. Oh, look at that. We're just about to get in our bath, a hydrotherapy bath, which we do yoga in, and we tune up with the tuning forks. We've tuned it up with the chakra tuning forks, put our Epsom salts in, and we'll put those perfect fifth elements in as well, because we'd have had it through this type of modality of air, but then we'll have it through the modality of water going in through our skin. And the bath's great for the yoga because it contains us and gives us boundaries of the body. But it's not good because it's hot water and it makes the muscles then loose, which then causes more pain. But if we do it in the planet sign of Saturn, Saturn's what creates boundaries. And this has been going on for so long now that it's just programmed into our subconscious. And I know, well, there's so many of us that don't all believe it still yet. And I suppose it's part of the conscious one that's got all these limiting beliefs that have been brought up with, still is just in such amazement and awe of the power of learning through the subconscious mind, of just the stuff that goes in the background. And this is what media is doing, fucking everyone up slowly, putting subliminal messages into everyone through adverts and the rest of it. And like, having lived this scientific experience that we've been doing for 4 years now, because they've all been doing their own little ways, some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. I mean, when you write backwards with your left hand and stuff like that, there's a lot that doesn't really make sense for the conscious mind. But I know that when the conscious mind is ready in the brain networks, because we've got massive head injury where all the scar tissue won't have healed properly because of the EDS, and then the processing language disorder, because if you think of plants, when you repot a plant or do something, the growth gets stunted. Well, that happens in us as well, in our brains. So if there's childhood traumas that happen, the area that stunts certain parts of the brain. And we've actually felt our prefrontal lobar cortex growing. So when a lot of this has maneuvered itself around slowly and gently, not like before, because before it was going too quickly. And even though we're healing and I understood what happened, it put us in the psych ward, which was terrifying and horrible. I mean, imagine waking up. You're already awake to everyone else, but to yourself, you're not, because you're locked inside and you've blacked out and you've got amnesia, and you suddenly wake up and it's 8 people pulling you from all directions. I mean, I understand now. I needed 8 people to pull me from all directions to rip apart the fascia, because there's certain parts of the fascia that a surgeon's knife can't cut. And so if we're going to rechange the patterning in the body, but we can't break the physical patterning in the body, then it has to be done in other aspects. And that's what happened. But we're not going to sidetrack too much because we already have. But this channel is just, we're not talking about the channel either. We've done that earlier. So let's get on and not talk too much and ramble like we do. This is meant to be a short version, please. We're learning discipline and one-pointed focus attention, which is what this next card is. The start of the lenses. Lenses, lenses, lenses. Colour lenses for colour therapy. Glass lenses to see properly. Language of light. Qualities. One-pointed focus. Gateway. Oh, just one thing though, if you'd translate this into the way of life or the system of life, art, philosophy, science through the yoga and the 8 limbs of yoga, you've got I've always got to count it, I'm afraid. You've got your yamas and your niyamas, your asanas, your pranayamas, your pratyaharas, and then you've got dharana. And dharana is concentration, which is one-pointed focus, basically attention, which it benefits one to have before meditation. But if there's multitude for you inside, then you're going to be having one-pointed focused attention on a multitude of things. Gateway, direct access, sound and light transmissions, devotion, sound and light healer. Light is sound. So we don't work with light, but we work with sound a lot. Or that's what our body showed us, and buzz the pain away. Activation of the light body, transcendent consciousness, feelings as divine access points. This lens heralds your approach to an interdimensional gateway. Be watchful. The language of light, the energy of your divine self, is assisting you in the crafting of your light body. Your nervous system's a light body. Electromagnetic signals go down it, it lights up. Your neurons fire, it lights up. The stuff that doesn't light up is grey matter when a brain starts dying. This loving creation occurs through subtle transmissions of energy that can be sensed as pulses of light, colour, sound, or heightened vibration. Drawing this card indicates that you would be served in bringing your mind into one-pointed focus of awareness to receive these gifts. Remain in a devotional state of communion to receive the potent transmission of these energies. And this is why we do this. Everyone leads such busy lives. We used to be one of those people. It practically broke us, but we consciously managed to get in there just before it broke us. And then it broke us with conscious awareness rather than subconscious awareness. Well, you don't get subconscious awareness, but you get what I mean. So what we're doing is we are sharing our frequencies that are healing us, because we can't do much. We don't leave the house. We get exhausted. All these things happen. So we are pretty much in 24/7 permanent states of passive and active meditation, because meditation brings us into our present moment. Sometimes it will bring us into our, well, most of the time it's been bringing us into our past present, reliving out all the traumas to clear and transform those frequencies, because energy doesn't just disappear. You have to transform it into another frequency, or whether it goes from light into heat into sound. There's always a multitude of different directions it goes in. And people are living a busy life, and COVID-19 made a lot of people slow down, but it's hard to change patterns. So we rush back into how it was before. But we are still doing this. We've been doing it for almost 4 years. And our purpose has always been to share. We've always shared a lot through our life, and we miss it. We miss human interaction, but it's still not to our highest good, and for others' highest good, to interact with humans too much, because we still have to become aware of our alternate personalities, especially the younger ones, and we can't be mirroring other people's energies until we know ourselves well enough that it's actually reflected in our physical body, and our physical body is strong, flexible and balanced. But we want to share our upgrades in consciousness and awareness with people that don't have the time to meditate hours on hours to reach these states of consciousness. But if one can feel something, they don't need to understand it from their conscious mind, but if one can feel something, and it might not feel good, it might be a bit of a trigger, because change doesn't always feel good, through this, then we're doing what we aim to do, and that's to still continue facilitating others to upgrade their consciousness, to heal, and to, in healing and releasing these triggersome, not nice feelings, by waking up and becoming aware. And our intention is for the highest of good, in the smoothest, funnest, maximum output, most ease way. Then we've fulfilled our purpose. And so, yeah, that's just a little bit about what these channels are for. You're getting the energies from someone that is in very conscious awareness state, even if their conscious is dissociated in another personality, and it's coming out from, and this makes us uncomfortable still, but a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old in a grown woman's body. And we're still facilitating our belief systems on all of that, and you know what it means and what it is. And that's why we do these live, because it's a different energy when it's live to what it is when it's pre-recorded or something else. So yeah, just a little bit there. Trust to remain in a devotional state of communion to receive the potent transmission of these energies. Trust and develop this sacred language, the language of feeling. It is encoded in your feelings. All feelings are access points to the divine. You will know when you have been touched by this abstract language, when you have a sudden sense of union, transcendence, or expanded perception. Learn to use your feelings as your spiritual steering mechanism. Let your heart, and for us, it's not feelings as in talking about emotional feelings, it's feelings as sensations in the body, tingling, pain, clicks, you know, stuff that's going on in the body that's not speaking about your emotions and your feelings and that type of language, because that's too much for a 2-year-old. A 2-year-old doesn't have the language to do that, and it hurts more than what's necessary. And it's about looking for the least resistance way. But we always need some resistance and stress, because that's then what gives us momentum. Otherwise, we get stuck in an inertia state. Learn to use your feelings as your spiritual steering mechanism. Let your heart be your compass. Allow this ancient mode of communication to spark memories of your purpose and destiny. Symbols act as a means for decoding this abstract language. You do not have to understand symbols. Their meaning affects you on a supra-conscious level that permeates all aspects of your being. Rather than relying on meanings fixed in memory, be receptive to your immediate responses to symbols and metaphors. And memory just isn't just in the brain, like we say, there's the psychosomatic memory in the body. And consciousness is in everything. So it's not just consciousness in the mind, there's consciousness in every cell, in everything. So getting out of our conscious left brain means, which is 5% of us, it's so small, means we're able to grow so much more. And then the understanding from the conscious left brain comes later. And this causes a lot more smoother, easier flow with the ebb and flow and the synchronicities with nature, just harmonious balance. Rather than relying on meanings fixed in memory, be receptive to your immediate responses to symbols and metaphors. Let them ignite your own mythic coding, acting as a rapid transit between realities. Colours are also part of this language. Notice and work with the colours that strongly attract or repel you. Remember, you are the knower. Fly into the pure state of consciousness where there are no words. Open to receive your native tongue, the galactic language of light. Light is sound, it could be sound. Feel the pulse of reunion, lovingly tendered as a gift of grace. Namaste. Welcome to the ShintoSE yoga experience. Let's learn, grow and play together with Shinto self-empowerment. And this is host body Neve Deborah Coleman. A multitude of alternate personalities, but it gets too much and too chaotic. But we're legally changing our name to Sanoni Snowflake Basal, which is in the process. So hopefully in a few weeks, change our frequency. So we're going to go from number 8 to number 11. Bye.